Well, hey everyone, it's Jeremy J, and I'm kind of winding down for the day in my hotel room here in Tijuana. And this is video 68. I'm going to call this What Happens to You When You Have a Near Death Experience, or when you almost die but you don't. I guess the expression you almost die deduces that you're still alive. So I had this happen to me as I've battled multiple issues in my body, and in the year 2018 there was 3 times that I got a really high fever, and in June of 2018 it was particularly high, 105.2. I remember going to the ER and the doctor there just saying I had some kind of summer flu, but I knew something was really off in my body and that he was wrong, and this proved to be true. But I remember in that moment laying on my bed with that high fever, and it felt like every cell in my body was being wrenched. And I prepared myself. I was like, okay, this is it. This is where I die. This is the end of the road for me in my life. So I remember laying on my bed, I'm shaking, I'm shivering, my body's pounding everywhere with pain and agony, and I mentally became at peace in that moment and said, I'm okay if I die right now, exactly as things are. Well, it lasted for about 4 or 5 more hours, and then kind of dissipated, and I slept for about 18 hours straight after that. And I have had many moments over these last couple of years where I felt my body getting to a point of shutting down, but it didn't. I didn't go all the way to death. And so I'm here again. I'm back. So I just want to share with you what that's done in my life, the change, the new path I'm going because of those experiences. So the first thing that changed in my life is I faced a fear of dancing that I've had ever since I was a teenager, going to church dances and school dances. I was afraid to go. I was afraid to be seen by people dancing because I didn't want to look stupid. And I was afraid of talking to girls because they might reject me. And so I had these fears of doing this. And those fears stayed with me after my teenage years and well into my later years until last year, 2019, at age 41. And so as I was sitting there in early 2019 and deciding what to do with myself and how do I heal, it popped into my head to go face that fear of dancing. And I said, well, that's nonsense. I don't like to dance. But the thought kept coming up, and so I said, okay, I'm just going to go to Google and go to the first place I find then. And I'll just go dancing and see what happens. And I did that, and the first place that came up in Google was the Westerner in Utah, country dance club. And I went there. I had a great time. I went there by myself and just started talking to people, and they do line dancing, and then they do partner dancing at about 9:30, and I decided to do it. And fortunately, I made a good friend there that partner danced with me and helped me kind of ease into it, because I was still, I didn't immediately become unshy. Like, it was still kind of nerve-wracking for me. I'm trying to get into a better light. There we go. And so I faced it. Now I do it. I've been doing it for 10 months now, 11 months now. Wow, almost 11 months now. And I've really enjoyed it. And it's one of my favorite things to do, in addition to basketball. So this fear, this terrible fear that I used to have, has become something I passionately enjoy. And I've released the emotional and tension, trauma in my body out in regards to dancing. That's a wonderful thing, and I believe that's contributed to my healing. There's other things that I believe I need to heal. There's still blockages left in my body that I need to heal in order to fully heal from Lyme disease and the things going on in my body. So that's one of the things. The second thing is, how do I when we all have things that we think of in different moments, like you might be grocery shopping and you might have this idea to dance to a song that's playing, but you're like, hell no, I'm not going to do that because there's people around. Or you might or you might feel like going up and talking to someone at the grocery store or out and about in a bank or getting your oil change. It doesn't matter what it is, but throughout each day, I believe I've seen for myself moments come where I get an impression to act on something, and I don't necessarily know why. It's either doing something or talking to someone. And normally I would resist those moments, but I'm much more likely to act on them now because I don't feel like I have anything to lose anymore. I feel like I'm on bonus time, for lack of a better way to describe it. Like my life is in bonus time. I should be dead, but I'm not. Therefore, it's this weird leverage of live every day like it's your last, and actually integrating that into my psyche, to my emotional state, not just hearing it and saying, oh yeah, that's a good way to be, but actually experiencing things in my life that cause me to integrate that. So now if I get a feeling to act on something, I just do it, no matter how weird or bizarre it is. Of course, I won't do anything crazy or obscene or harmful to anyone, but if the thought goes in my head to go up to someone and dance with them in the grocery store because that feels like the right thing to do, then I'll do it. And just because that's living. So that's another benefit. Another benefit is a much greater sense of inner peace and acceptance and love for myself and others. So after getting close to death, I realized, like, there's so many things in life that can kill us. We can die at any time. We're all fighting battles and have our own struggles. So have a lot of empathy for others. Have a lot of empathy for yourself, even more empathy for yourself. I'm not perfect at this. I can still be very hard on myself. I think that's the same for everyone. We're so hard on ourselves, much more than other people. But certainly with that challenge still, I feel a tremendous sense of inner peace and acceptance for situations and how they unfold. I don't try and force anything. I let things flow exactly as I feel them flowing. Like, to use an analogy, we're all on a raft in a river, and we're floating down the river, and there's rapids, there's calmness, in anything in between, and we're just grabbing onto a pole on our raft, and it's up to us to decide how we react to the rapids, to how calm they are or how turbulent and rough they are. We don't have much control over that. All we can do is decide how we respond. And so for me, I choose to respond from a sense of acceptance, peace, and love. And I think acceptance first. Even before love, I think acceptance is most important because it's seeing reality as it is. When you see reality as it is, there is no friction, there's no drama, there's no resistance, there's no tension. It's simply like looking at something and saying very objectively, that thing is that way. And it doesn't mean it doesn't mean don't strive to make things better. It doesn't mean don't quit your pursuit of trying to achieve something. It doesn't mean you just give up on your hopes and dreams. No. But it does mean that whatever situations occur in your work and your personal life, with your health, your fitness, your business, your spirituality, with your friendships, your relationships, your family, everything, you see things exactly as they are, and you lead with acceptance, love, kindness, empathy, compassion, and you just do that because you realize that any of us can be taking it any moment. And gosh, would you want someone to, in your last moments of life, to have said or done things that were less than kind or compassionate? No, and vice versa. So that's another important one. What else? I love my job. I've always liked my career in software engineering, but I love it now. I'm much more appreciative and grateful for it. So I appreciate and see, I see the things in my life that happen that I know are good, and I appreciate them even more. So there's an expansion in awareness and understanding towards the good things in my life. And that's been good. It's helped orient me towards what serves me in my life and what provides joy, happiness, and all those things. So a lot of good comes from severe trial. Severe trial sucks, it's no fun, but it provides as well. You get both ends of the spectrum. So that just seems to be the nature of life. Anyways, this is one of my longer videos, but I just wanted to share this, the good things that happen when you almost die. Video 68, I believe. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. And are there any lessons that you have learned through the trials in your life? I'd love to hear about it. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.